What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the River Garage and Happy New Year. It is our tradition locally here that we go for a drive on New Year's Day. We actually planned some of the route this year, and so we're taking the 914 out to meet some other folks here locally. Air-cooled Porsches, it doesn't really matter. We're just out to have a good time New Year's morning, so let's go. So one of the modifications I did was to do this hood with the pins and the through hood filler, and it's one of my favorite things because that was one of the annoyances of driving a 914, was having to lift the hood to fill it with fuel every time. I know some of the early 356s were like that, the early Beetles were like that. This is a much better setup. Our problem today is going to be fog. It is super soupy. My windshield is already wet, and I have no defrost of any kind. My heat exchangers were leaking. I was getting a headache every time I drove the car, which meant that it was leaking exhaust and just pushing exhaust into the cabin. So I've blocked it off completely, and we're just gonna run with no heat. Okay, so the other thing about not having the heat exchangers hooked up is that I was pretty confident that my oxygen sensor was getting a false reading, because with the heat exchangers leaking exhaust out, that meant at certain driving conditions, air was getting in, giving it a lean condition, telling it was leaner, and it was getting richer. So if you read the plugs, they're super fat. If you read the oxygen sensor, it's pretty good. So the computer was getting confused. So I've actually used some like insulation tape to tape off all the exits and put all the fan air on the engine and block off all the exits to the heat exchanger. So if it leaks exhaust, it's just within the contained system of the heat exchanger. So you can see off camera that oxygen sensor is gone. I've gone to a WB1 wideband from Haltech. It's CAN enabled. It's just a lot better. So while I don't have a gauge, if I plug in the laptop, I can see it. It is considerably better, it runs better. I don't get errors on the oxygen sensor. And in general, this is the best the car's ever run. So let's go meet up with the group. All right, we got about 8 cars. We actually have a Beetle and a Ghia today. So we got 2 modern Porsches, probably 2 914s, 2 911s, Beetle, Ghia, and a couple of modern 911s. So we are off into the pea soup. Our route is theoretically about 3 hours. You guys can't see that. And you can hear these sticky tires pick up literally every rock in the road and every single piece of gravel and throw it in the brakes. So we're gonna just drive into the pea soup, and I'll catch back up when something interesting happens. No promises, but we may be coming out of the fog a little bit here. So far the car's done fine, and we don't have any trouble with the windshield. We got a pretty good group, and I'm leading the pack now, and so we're about to hop over the bridge, go explore some back roads. See, my tag has decided to be an auctioneer. The engine RPM are fine, but it is to the clouds. There is land on the other side. Alright, current status, stuck behind a horse trailer. Fingers crossed he will turn off because there is 0% chance we're getting the whole group around him on a 2-lane stretch like this. So maybe we'll give him a little space, maybe he'll find his place to ride horses. About as good as Florida can offer. 2-lane, unmarked speed limit, country road. Apparently I've routed this on a dirt road. We're gonna have to take a poll and see what people want to do. What do you want to do?
Which way can we go?
I mean, this is the way we're supposed to go. Do you want me to ask everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going on the dirt road. We might have some in the group that don't want to go on the dirt road. Oops. This was not the plan. They went straight back? I'll find a reroute. Alright, I'm working on a reroute for the people that didn't want to go on the dirt road. And by reroute, I mean we're just gonna drive until we can stay on some pavement here. See if we can find them. Start. Alright, so this is a new one. I apparently missed a part of the road that's dirt, and we had some non-participants in the dirt, which is great. It's fine, they have much nicer cars than me. So we backtracked to try to catch them. We don't know which way they went. So we're just gonna reroute, and if we catch them, we catch them. If we don't, we don't. And maybe we'll see them at lunch. Back on the pavement. With a little bit of a bypass here. That's how you know you're on good roads, when there's an ATV trail on the side. Alright, we found a workaround, but we've lost the other half of the group. So far we lost the GG3, the Beetle, as well as 3 911s, 2 911s and a 912. So right now it's the 2 914s, the Gia, and 1 911 still in tow. So unfortunately, avoiding that 4 miles of dirt is like a 20+ mile workaround. This is actually further south and east than I'm familiar with, so we're hoping that this road stays paved. And all right, guess what? We're on a dirt road, and there's some pretty good ruts that we had to cross to get to where we stopped. We have one car running out of fuel. We have one car that's too low to make it across the ruts, so it's become an adventure, but sometimes that's fun.
Really flat and hard.
I'm probably gonna go rally straight through it, but it's a long backtrack, so you can see that this is a pretty rough section. Clearly, this is like where everybody comes to do. This is where everybody comes to do donuts.
This is where they buy the junk cars left on the side of the road.
So that looks good. That looks good, but Google Maps is not telling us what is and isn't dirt, and so it's very difficult to reroute around the dirt when you don't know what's dirt. So the Gia is gonna try to come on the smoothest route that I can give him, and we're gonna get him through the dirt. I mean, it's basically a Baja bug at this point. And now we're on the hard pack. Sweet. Hey guys. Okay, so we got about 5 miles of dirt, we think, and then we're gonna be back on the hard pack. All right, so far dirt road's not so bad. My standards are low though. You know, considering I just put 40 shocks and 40 springs and track tires. This may not have been the intended setup for it, but for washboard roads, as long as I keep it moving around 30, these are good. Look, horses, hi horses. Probably the only Porsches driving on a dirt road through Florida today. So right there, I'm pretty sure there's a stop sign and a paved road. So cross your fingers, because the Gia needs fuel, and then we're gonna head to hopefully the end. We got a few funny looks, and weirdly that was kind of a popular bicycling dirt road. And we saw one dude towing his side-by-side that may as well have seen an alien. So a little tree farm action going. We're gonna get to a fuel station here, and then lunch. All right, we got the Carmigia behind us. We got the LE in front. I am at 148 miles, and the car's been excellent. I'm feeling more and more confident that I could really like take this somewhere, drive it somewhere, maybe take it somewhere later in this month to a car event in Daytona. But at this point, all plans have divulged. We're gonna divide and conquer. Some people are getting pizza, some people are heading home, some people are heading to family house, and so we are gonna call it a day on our ride. So the wheels kind of fell off a little bit, but I had a great time and we had a great drive, and I think everybody got out and exercised their cars a little bit on New Year's Day. So can't complain about that. As always, you can stay tuned to the Barefoot Garage for more 914 content right here on YouTube and over on Instagram, Barefoot Garage Jacks. You can see what we're working on, some new projects coming up on Instagram, and we'll see you guys next time for some more 914 action.